Hi everyone. So today we are here to chat with Navleen. I wanted to first introduce Navleen. So Navleen and I go back to our college days. We did our MBA together, and I think we were not in touch for some time, but we got in touch in 23 when she and I had a call, and she has two beautiful kids, and she was struggling to lose that mommy pouch and that little weight that she had gained after those two pregnancies. At that time, if I remember correctly, you were somewhere around 63, 64. And
Yeah.
when we talked, I think the first thing that we talked about, how sometimes you get uncomfortable with our body after post-pregnancy, and you live a life in Singapore where it's a hectic life in a corporate job where you're traveling all the time. And it was more about, how you felt in the body, being presentable, having that confidence and everything, right? So I wanted to first ask you about, where you were when we started in 2023.
Suvidhi, we spoke, right? In 2023, it was the start. I remember I was walking back with two of my kids, actually from a play date, another mutual friend that we have, Swati.
Right.
And I was coming back and I had one of them, in my lap. The condo that we stay in, Singapore, has a very steep slope. So I was climbing up and I was panting. And that was the wake up call I think I needed because I've always been athletic. And I was panting and I could not believe that I can't even hold like a little baby.
Hmm.
And, like I'm so breathless. I started trying a little bit, but then I felt like I had hit a plateau. I wasn't sure if I was, eating right, exercising right, even though I know how to use gym equipments. I just felt like I needed someone to kind of guide me through because I was obviously, like I said, I had hit a plateau. You're right, I was around 63, 64, extremely low on energy, fair bit of mood swings. I wasn't doing well emotionally for sure. There was a lot of work stress. I had just started back in August of that year after my maternity. There was a lot of changes at work that were at play. Um, of course, I wasn't able to connect with my second child as much as I did with my first because my journey, my experience delivering him wasn't something that I was a big fan of. I had to go through certain amount of sessions, therapy even to kind of be okay with it mentally and emotionally. And then, of course, when that wake up call happened for physically, I was like, okay, you know what? I really need to do something about it. So I think the goal at that point in time, like you rightly said, was to get confident in my body, get that stamina back, energy levels up, my sleep, how terrible it was because I was still nursing him. It was what, 5, 6 hours at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we were struggling a
Uh,
lot.
so, sometimes even that happens today. But I mean, I think that is a part of being a mom, right? So you can't take that away entirely. But yeah, I wanted to get back in shape more to gain stamina, drop some sizes if I could, because I had never seen myself like that in my life. Uh, I was towards the leaner side. So I just think that is what was my state of affairs at that point in time. Low stamina, low energy levels, a lot of mood swings, definitely not happy looking at myself in the mirror because I looked very different pre and post. My first pregnancy was okay, second was terrible. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah. I think we did work on a lot of things back then. I remember, yeah, you were nursing that time. So, every time you'd send me a check-in, I was like, 5 hours sleep, Lovely, you need more sleep, you need more sleep. So rest whenever you can. But what was amazing was that, in spite of having a busy lifestyle, you had your work, your kids, you still took out time for your workouts. And I've always seen you were able to, clog your 10,000 steps like you were working out in the night, moving in the day. You did take out time. I don't know how, but you managed to take out time for everything. And I think
Yeah.
that all worked also in a way that we were able to hit that goal. Like I think we lost somewhere around 7, 8 kgs in that
Yes.
a span of 3 months.
I think we came down to 57 or something. I can't remember,
Yeah,
but somewhere there.
56,
Yeah,
50, I think something around 56 or something. We were,
56, 57.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good. And I remember you have that mild scoliosis also, right? And at that time, you were also taking, I think,
Yes.
some sessions that time. But I think that
Yes.
has considerably improved now because when I see your pictures now, I don't see that shift. Otherwise, I could see that drop in your shoulders and everything also.
Hmm.
So that all has improved. You started working out at the gym that time. I think you've continued till now. It's been 2 years. So that's a great achievement.
Yeah.
And for me, the best point was that, we ended the plan and everything. A few months we kept in touch also and anything. And when in I think December 24 or I think Jan 24, you messaged me, and
December
sent me a
24.
picture that, okay, this is how I look right now. So I was,
Oh, that was November, yes, because we were going for a couple's date, and there was this. I'm sure you're talking about that Zara dress.
yes,
So I had
the
picked
blue
up
dress.
the blue denim dress. Yes,
Yes, yes,
I had
yes.
picked that up, and it was of course a body hugging dress, and
Yeah.
not something I would have thought a year ago that I could wear. Of course, back in college, yes, we would wear whatever. Uh, but yeah, just to be able to get into that and be confident, and I was like, okay, I have to send it to you.
Yeah, so I was like, fab work, like, 1 year post the plan has ended. You have not just maintained, I think you went beyond and you were, I think, lost some
Yeah,
2 kgs on your own. And it wasn't like you have lost, and you were looking pale or something. I could see that your body looked toned. And today also, if I see you, you're glowing and everything. And I know where we started, where we were then. So
yeah. Oh,
it's,
yeah. I don't even want to look at those pictures. Sometimes, yes, I want to, but then I have this whole gallery. There's this album on my phone. It's called Postpartum Fitness Journey. So, because you remember you used to like
yeah,
literally haunt
ask.
me, send me your check-in, send me your check-in. So I have that weekly three side, the front, back, and side pictures. I'm like, oh
Yes.
shit. I'm so glad I took charge and I did something about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Oh
it's so
my
good. It's
God.
good to look back also and see, from where we started and, where we are
Yeah.
right now. Sometimes, we are feeling bad also. Okay, we are stuck in something in our journey or something. So that time, I think it's a good
Yeah.
reminder to look back and see, okay, this is where I started.
Yes, you're right. That's true.
Okay, so I'll talk about your next goal. So when we talked, I think
Mm.
December 24. So
About
you
a
told
year
me,
from then, yeah.
yeah. So you said you have a trip coming up, and I have a beach body goal to, achieve. So I was like, great. From just fitting into my t-shirt into my pants, it's come to beach body now. So it's great that we are, upgrading in our goals now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with dreaming about things,
Of
right?
course, unless until you dream, how would you achieve it, right? I'm happy that
Yeah.
you took that charge here and thought, कि अच्छा हाँ ये possible है, so let's try it out, and then you've beautifully achieved it.
I
So
mean, I am still not like fully there. My abs still need a lot of work because Indian body types, like you two workouts you miss or you eat a little different and you're like, oh shit, you're not blessed with those Western body type flat bellies. Indian body types are different. There's a lot of hard
yeah.
work. At least mine is like that.
But see, after
So
giving birth, anyways, you have a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
little stubborn fat around that lower body of
Yeah.
belly. But I don't see it as much in your case now, right?
Yeah.
And
I
the
mean,
other
it's
day,
there when I'm like looking at myself, but then that's only for me to watch.
yeah. So talking about your goals in the next phase that we started, our goal was not to drop weight as such, but yes, it was
Yes.
to, like we talked about, changing the body's composition. So we wanted to,
Yes.
drop that fat, look leaner, and have a more toned physique is, what we wanted to have that time. So I think that phase when we started, I think we lost some 2-3 kgs, but I see a huge difference in your body. So we've dropped in sizes and dropped in terms of body fat percentage. And that day you sent me a picture of your bag. I was like, wow, that's the kind of bag I would want my client to have.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yes, I remember. I was in Bangkok for a trip,
Mm.
and I've started doing this if possible. If I have Monday morning meetings, then I try and reach like Sunday afternoon, and the 2 3 places that I have to visit for
Mm.
work, and I try and get to the same hotel, and the gym staff knows that Sunday evening I'm going to be there. So I
Great.
mean they're there, yeah. So at least the Bangkok guys, because Bangkok I've had a couple of trips this year,
Mhm.
and they know that if I'm there 3 nights, I'm going to be in the gym 3 nights. So,
That's it.
so there is this guy who's like, "Are you sure you can do this?" I was like, "Yes, yes." And then he will basically push me a little bit more. The trainer there in the gym,
Mhm.
that's there. Oh my God, at Sheraton in Bangkok, he's like, "Ma'am, you know what? Let's stretch it a little bit more." And then he will add like another weight on something. I was like, "Acha, you are like my free trainer right now. Chalega, no problem." Like,
That's
because
great.
because incidentally, like there are elderly people. The 2 3 times I've been there, I've seen like people who are trying to get their body moving
Mm.
vis-a-vis me who's trying like in a very different age bracket and trying to build something, and they're like they help them and then they are naturally drawn. They're like, "Ma'am, can you do this?" I'm like, "Ah, I can see why you want to help me. It's okay."
That's great. I'm very happy to hear that. In fact, I want you to share how you manage all of these things because I know that your work is hectic, and you have
Yeah.
two kids. You live in Singapore, so you have to manage a lot of things. Of course, I know you have a great husband who helps too, but your work involves a lot of travel as well. So I want your side of the story. How do you manage all of these things? Because I see a lot of moms who struggle to do that. Being in India, we have a lot of help with everything. Still, I see a lot of people saying that, we can't manage this. So I want, some
Hmm.
tips from you that you can share with everybody, how you manage to do this transformation and stick to everything.
Just Suvidhi, one thing which I've kind of taken to this and every other aspect of my life was a little bit of a culture shock when I moved from India to Singapore. Literally, even coffee dates, okay, forget dates, even coffee time with your, colleagues who's literally sitting next to you, uh, it will all be on the calendar. It will literally be on the diary. And I'm like, but how do I know tomorrow, 3 o'clock, I want to have chai, Like, how do I know that? But that is how it was. They're like, no, but you know that you have a cup of tea at like 10 in the morning or 3 or 4 in the evening or whatever that time is for you. You plan accordingly. Every single thing was calendarized, like the walks, you take a break, everything. Because people there at least gave, now in hindsight, I feel like it's respectful in a way because you are scheduling time to socialize. It's not an afterthought. At that point in time, it used to be, like I said, it was really a culture shock that, in India, I would just walk up to a friend or a colleague and I'd say, Chal, coffee pe kya hai, or something like that. That was a bit different. It takes time to get to that point because these were newer people as well. So I'm not saying that is not the case now. But what I took from there is, even for kids, everything, there is a shared calendar between Jaspreet and I, my husband and I, and it's basically a family calendar. I have chosen the workout days that I want to clock. Okay.
Mhm.
It's changed from what it was when we started out versus what it is because, of course, my work
Yeah.
schedule has changed. My composition of night calls versus day calls has kind of changed. When I started out with you in 23, at that point in time, even though I had a lot of US calls, I knew those were on my time. So
Hmm.
I could move things around.
Hmm.
And I had blocked 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 because my kids go to bed early. We have dinner early. So I know that the last hour or two was something that I used to watch TV.
Hmm.
And people at work still find it difficult to believe that, I am basically doing a workout at night and how am I going to sleep after that? I was like, okay, you know what? I actually feel refreshed more than anything else. So I basically put that in the calendar that if we have couples dinner or hostings to do or office outings to do, those are the 2 or 3 days that will be non-negotiable for me.
Hmm.
um, and if I could not avoid any of these social obligations, that I would move it along. Like, if I couldn't clock it on Monday, then I would do it on Thursday. And what I did was, I did actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to start with, because I know that Friday, say, you start getting social calendars and all of that. And if I missed, let's say, a Tuesday or a Wednesday for a night work call or whatever, then I still had a Thursday or a Saturday to pull in. So
Hmm.
that's how I started with 3 days back then. So it was a lot of, honestly, scheduling for myself. Um, Now that has changed. Now, because I have a lot of night calls, I make sure that I clock it, on Saturday, Sunday, and then
Hmm.
I either do a Friday or a Monday or whatever. And if I can do another day, then I do another day. But like I said, because the schedule is a bit different now, work wise. And then, like I was just mentioning, if I have a work travel coming up, and I know often there are Monday morning meetings, I avoid Wednesday, Thursday, Friday trips because Friday, even work wise, it's not as productive. And if it's a Monday morning, then I try and reach there Sunday evening. Saturday workout is already done. Then I clock my Sunday there. When I am in meetings Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if I'm coming back, I know my Monday, Tuesday workouts may or may not happen depending on dinners at work and all of that. So I try and I've become, I don't know whether it is healthy or obsessive, but I have, sorry, there'll be a bit of noise. My boys are back. Um, just give me a sec. So I would basically try and see if I could do one breakfast and one dinner with like work.
Hmm.
I don't do like two dinners. I am not a morning exercise person. So that's my shortcoming. But then I make up for it at night because I feel like I'm more energetic at night. So I try and use it to my advantage. Um, if I have two dinners, then I suck it up and I pull like a 30, 40 minutes in my room if I don't want to go see the gym. So I think that's what I do when I travel. I carry my protein bars everywhere. Again, something that I'm now popularly known for. If there is something needed for munching in my, in my cupboard at work, there is going to be a couple of protein bars to munch on. Some nuts will be there, some protein bars will be there. So I do not travel with without protein bars. So that's that. Um, I
That's
think
a big
it's
shift.
largely those two things. That is.
Remember when we
You remember
started,
I was the
it was
one.
a packet of chips every day.
But yes, but you also remember I still love my chips. I
I know.
found protein chips to
I
say.
know. So I also said that, you have great options in Singapore. I wish that we
Yeah, that's
had
true.
same of those in India, but I think India is catching up. Like India, we have good.
Catching up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually quite surprised in Delhi when I went the other day to find protein bars and all. There are quite a few options.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
may not necessarily be happy with all of them because when I
Yes.
flip and check the composition, it's a bit different than what I get there, but they're still great options.
Yeah, but I'm very happy to see these learnings that, now you flip the pack and read the ingredient and see what is there
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
So
So
that's a
yeah, I mean that mindfulness, that discipline, I think is something that comes with like what we were discussing before. You have a frame of reference. I have that album. As much as I don't like looking at myself, it's very important every now and then to go and see where I started.
yeah.
And then the other thing which everybody talks about when they drop sizes is I've always been a shopper of quality, not quantity.
Hmm.
And I get a lot of more like most women, certain pieces hold a lot of value,
Yeah, yeah.
emotional value,
Yes.
memories, this, that, whatever. So I have three cupboards in Delhi, in like here in Raipur at my mom's, and then of course in Singapore. I am now wearing things that I used to wear when we used to study together. I am
Ah,
like
that's good.
pre wedding wear. Yeah. So all of my last Diwali outfits were basically my trousseau pieces, which were
Wow.
potentially when I was at my skinniest. Like
Yeah,
again
we go
Indian
back in
families. You know how.
2011 or something, like that's then.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So that those pieces, and now so I'm basically just shopping my own wardrobe, and there is this auntie that I found in Singapore next to my house. She's a tailor. I have become like the permanent customer. So I will take my dresses. I was like, auntie, please tighten
Okay.
it up, shorten it up. So every few weeks I will go with my clothes, which are like a couple of months old, and I will take a cloth, like a piece from 2011 and 12 to like for her to match it if
That's
I don't
it.
have the time to give measurements. So I think that's another thing that drives you.
Hmm.
I remember I couldn't do a single push up. I do like 20 push ups now with like two, three different variations. So I think that's another thing I do. If there is an exercise that I'm proud of, then I record and I put it in there. Just to there are
That's
days when I don't feel like doing anything and I'm like, okay, karna padega, you like it. So
no, that's
I,
great.
I can
That's huge
show
improvement.
yeah, it's just that. Like here, when I came to Raipur, there's this one cousin of mine who claims he exercises, but he's the guy who would invest in everything and not necessarily use it. So I literally borrowed his dumbbells, and they're sitting upstairs on my terrace.
Wow.
He said, "You're here for like 4 days." I was like, "Yeah, but I need to do my 2 days. I don't need all 4 days, but I need to do my 2 days." So I think I've come to that point where I feel good about it. So I'm naturally invested in it. I see my boys looking at it and they are trying to, like
I
lift a 10
remember,
kg dumbbell.
you remember that
That was a
video
big
where you had one of your kids, I think the younger one or the older one.
agad,
Yeah, so he
agad,
was
agad.
sitting on your pelvic and you were doing hip thrust with him.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, because I told him I can do a 20 kg hip thrust and he was 18 or 19 at the time. I said, Mama, let me test you. And then he sat on it and he was like, and then he was actually scared that I will do it. And now he stands on my wall hold and like
Hmm.
the wall
Wow.
holds that you do for your legs and he's what 23, 24 now and he would stand and now he will get scared and I'm like, no, I can take it. He's like, no, Mama, I think you will lose. Okay, fine.
It's a good
So yeah.
inspiration for the kids also when they grow up seeing like a strong mom. They know, that this is important. Like, of course, work is important,
Yeah.
relationships are important, but your health is also important. And I think that you're doing it beautifully, and the kids will be learning great from that. Also, I want to talk about, other than, of course, we have a great physical transformation, but I want to
Yeah.
understand, how it has been mentally, emotionally for you. Has it helped you in any ways?
in every way, Suvidhi. And, like I said, initially, the biggest problem that I had, or the issue that I had, was, a lot of emotional baggage and the mood swings and not feeling good about myself. And the stamina was running low. I didn't want to socialize. A lot of that stems from your experience, but also like what you're going through with your body and everything. I think this has given that confidence back to me, if you will. And my I think that I am able to bring my entire self, whether it is to work or to my friends, or, when I'm out, I'm really out there and not like second guessing everything that I'm, how it is. At least women are wired like that. We are overthinking constantly.
Always.
That, yes, that I think has massively dropped for me. I'm not second guessing myself. I have, well, to a point, I have started prioritizing me after this, because I know if I'm not happy, there is no way my kids will see a happy me or a happy interaction. Because I was getting a little bit snappy because of the, just the temperament wasn't nice, right? Um, I wasn't getting a lot of emotional outlet. I think even now, sometimes when I feel burned emotionally, like at home, there are things that happen. At work, there are things that happen. When you have that boiling point there, then the thing I do is either I go for a run, which I didn't want to ever, and I've started running once a week now.
Wow.
Don't talk about pace and all, that's pathetic.
That's good. You'll
But
get there. I was also never a runner. I also started doing it, and now
I
I'm
hate
doing it
cardio.
again.
The the only kind of cardio I like is a good dance. But anyway, I but Singapore has this lovely river which I like in the evening. So I would again. So that's my evening workout on a Monday or a Tuesday. I go for a run if the weather is good. But if I have this little bit of, like emotional release needed, and that's when I hit the gym and I will move my schedule around.
Wow.
But to your point, it makes me feel really good. The endorphins kick in, you start feeling good about it, you sweat it out. So I think emotionally, I'm a lot better because my dependency on others has dropped considerably. I do not need to pick up the phone and talk to people. I feel like, and I'm that one person, like an idiot. You don't need anybody in the gym. I'll just go and I'll work out. Like a lot of my friends are like, "How do you work out without a friend or a companion or a trainer?" I was like, "I honestly don't care. I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for the social company. For that, I will go for like a Zumba or
Yeah.
whatever. This is not that for me." So I think it's helped a lot emotionally from a confidence level. Physically, of course, it's helping because my strength is there, my stamina is back. Um, it just makes you feel good, and then everything else, at least for you, starts falling in place. I'm
100.
not saying that there's no inner work needed, but like
Of course, see,
it just
we will always have that ups and downs and everything, but
uh
strength to deal with everything becomes better, right? And
yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
huge shift that way is also, that earlier I remember, that dependence on food or alcohol or something
Oh
else
yeah,
when you are not feeling
food
great.
was
Or,
a big one for
yeah.
me. Yeah, yeah.
But now it's, let me go for a run, right? And that makes you feel good. So there's a huge, I see a huge lifestyle change. So for me, for you, it was never a doubt that you can reach the weight or something, but it's more was, change those habits and everything that had,
Yeah,
seeped in. And of course, it takes time. I think we have done it in two phases over years, right? And now I think it comes naturally to you, like how you were telling you about last night that I was looking for protein bars or something when people were, ordering pizzas. So that's great. And I'm very happy to see that change. So I wanted to know just your key takeaways or anything that you wanted to share with everybody.
I think it comes down from finding your why. For me, finding my why was really a garden anatomy. So if you have that view of where you want to be or why you want to be, that's number one. And then, so there is discipline in this. If there is no discipline, again, if you have that why very clear, and if you're able to structure and stick with it, you're not starving yourself. I think all of your clients would have told you, I have eaten more in a
Yeah.
plan than otherwise, because
The
you
second
don't
phase, I had
realize.
to tell you, Navleen, you have got to eat. You
Yeah,
can't be
no,
eating so less.
yes, exactly. So I think you think a lot of things that I'm not going to eat one chapati, one roti less, and it'll be this and that and whatever. But just the discipline of staying on track and holding yourself accountable, nobody's going to do it. And I think as moms, what we never do, and it's never our first priority, is ourselves. It is it's a default. Any generation you pick, any country you pick, any nationality you pick, as moms, kids come first. But if kids come first, then you actually need to be core. If you are not okay, the kids cannot come first because you will have aches and pains. And I know what I was struggling with in that moment. Like I told you, I could not walk
Mm.
up like
Mm.
100-meter ramp that I was panting. Um, Nobody needs a scare call. Somebody in the family gets diagnosed with someone. Wake up calls are different for everybody, right? But I just feel if you get that reason right, and if you're able to build that discipline, and if you're able to prioritize yourself, sometimes you will still be guilty. Sometimes I still feel guilty, but I've come to a point where I'm like, so be it. I mean, if I can't do it, nobody else is going to do it for my kids. So I better take care of myself. I think those are really just basics. And then of course carry my protein bar, carry your protein bar. carry some healthy snacking options because bhook lagti hai yaar.
Course, of course. I think you put it very nicely that yes, finding your strong why is important. Nobody can push you and tell you, okay, you need to reach there unless until you know you want it, right? You can't reach there, right? And yes, dream big, like you've been dreaming. कि अभी पहले यहाँ तक पहुँचना है, अभी now I know next is coming, lean with, those app definition.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, maybe. But I've been told by my parents, do not drop sizes. I'm like, I'm not dropping sizes. I'm just
I,
working on it. If it is happening by
yes,
virtue of it, I can't help it.
it's
You
okay.
know what I'm saying.
You come to a Punjabi family, you hear it all the time.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. They're like, hi.
I know, I know. I also come from a Punjabi family, so I know.
I know.
But good, I'm really happy to see your progress and good that we connected. I think we've been going back and forth to, get that time. You've been also running busy, in my life
Yes.
had been busy. But I think people around you have also transformed a lot. I see a lot of your friends, now. So of course, a
Two of
lot of
my
them have
cousins
joined.
might reach out to you, by
The
the
jo
way.
Yeah, and thank you for the referrals. And a lot of people have joined, and they're also transforming. So it's a ripple effect that you create, not just for your family, but your friends as well. Getting them to a nicer lifestyle. I see people around you going for pickleball and doing all those stuff. So it's great.
I'm glad. And I'm glad, honestly, I made that hesitant phone call with you. And I was like, I don't know whether it is possible or not. And we were like, okay, we'll get there. And then rest is history.
I
It's
still remember that phone call because I was in the hospital. My Seher was admitted. She
yes,
was typhoid.
yes.
I was sitting beside her and taking that call. But I'm glad that we connected that time. So
Yeah,
thank you
I'm
so much.
happy.
Thank you so much for taking out that time and sharing all your insights with us. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people. And yes, your transformation, anyways, I knew that is going to inspire a lot of people from day one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suvidhi.
Great.
Right. The coming, maybe we'll hit that app definition one day. Maybe
Yes.
this
And
December will be that. I tend to come to you every
yeah,
December.
every new year, 23, 24, now it's 25 is going to
So,
change new goals.
so I always have a big goal, my
Before.
defining goal for a year. So for 2023, that was what basically you helped me achieve, right? For 2024, I will tell you so for 2025, I will tell you when it is finishing what it was. But for 2024 was what you got me to. But I don't know what my 26 goal would be. Maybe it is that. Now that you've planted that idea in my head, I'll think
Yes. So
about
we're
it.
going to manifest it now.
Yes, I have a few months to go.
Yes, let's get there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much.